Hello and good morning everyone. I hope you are doing great and fine. My name is Precious Daniel and I am here to introduce to you the assessment in learning 2. Now, what is this assessment in learning all about? So this course is focuses on the development and utilization of alternative forms of assessment in measuring authentic learning. It emphasizes to the ways in assessing process and product-oriented targets as well as effective learning. It will help students to experience how to develop rubrics for performance-based and portfolio. Now, why is it important to learn about this? Well, in student learning, assessment is a key component of learning because it helps students to learn. When students are able to see how they are doing in a class, they're able to determine whether or not they understand the course material. Also, assessment can also help motivate students. Now, in teaching, just as assessment helps students, assessment helps teachers. Frequent assessment allows teachers to see if their teaching has been effective. Assessment also allows teachers to ensure students learn what they need to know in order to meet the course's learning objectives.
Hello, and this is Arthur Janmari Cinco, putting Unit 1 Authentic Assessment in Classroom in a nutshell. It is a course evaluation method where the students apply their knowledge to unique real-life contexts or situations. It is one of the most practical methods of course evaluation because it does not need students to memorize or repeat lessons. The examples for this are exhibitions and demonstration, portfolios, and interviews. Through these examples, the students execute tasks using the skills and knowledge they learn from the course instead of weighing students' performance against standardized bench works like quizzes and summative exams. The characteristics of authentic assessment are: they are realistic in nature, should require creativity, ingenuity, and resourcefulness, should be similar to tests that show up in real life, should be complex enough that the students must apply a variety of skills and information-seeking methods, and should be action-oriented. The terms related to authentic assessment that you need to be wary of are performance assessment, alternate assessment, and direct assessment. It is important to do authentic assessments because they measure directly, capture constructive nature of learning, integrate teaching, learning, and assessment, and lastly, provide multiple paths to demonstration.
Let's talk about performance assessment. Now, it is an activity that requires students to generate products or performances that provide direct or indirect evidence of their knowledge, skills, and abilities in the academic content domain. Now, one of its purposes is to improve the students' learning experience and evaluate the effectiveness of the lesson plans, and also this measures how well students can apply the knowledge they have learned now that they can recall the knowledge. Now, for its types, we do have process-based and product-based. Now, for its design, it unpacks the performance expectation, identify a rich authentic phenomena, develop prompts, create scoring guides, pilot score, and revise. Now, for the GRASS model, its meaning goes goal, role, audience, situation, products, and standard that acknowledges the centrality of standards but also ensures that students truly understand the content and can apply it in meaningful ways. Now, for differentiating, to differentiate a performance task, a teacher should first consider the needs and strengths of the students in his or her classroom. Now, for the rubric, a rubric is a grading system for evaluating students' performance-based tasks such as a product, written output, or a project or performance. One of its example, analytic rubrics, and the second one will be holistic scoring.
Hello, I'm in Unit Art in Mathematics, and I'm going to talk about the Unit 3 Authentic Assessment of the Affective Domain. The authentic assessment of the affective domain was divided into two domains, such as the affective learning competences and the development of affective assessment tools. The affective learning competences is a part of a system that was published in 1965 for identifying, understanding, and addressing how people learn. It drives learning objectives that emphasize a feeling tone, an emotion, or a degree of acceptance or rejection. While the development of effective assessment tools, different scenarios to be assessed all for different tools and modes of evaluation. Ensure that the instrument and procedure for attending are relevant to the audience, the year and the time for which they are being evaluated.
Hello. This is MJ, and we're here to tackle about communicating authentic assessment results. In order to appropriately address the problems that need to be rectified or adjusted, authentic assessment results need also be successfully shared. That is why we have effective communication with what, why, and how are we going to communicate. Tips are to communicate respectfully, keep stress in check, and of course, assert yourself. You must be able to clearly communicate the message as well as listen in such a way that you grasp the entire meaning of what is being said and make the other person understand. We communicate to inform, convey, persuade, to seek information, and express emotions. Now, how are we going to communicate? In authentic assessment results, there should be managing message, equality, and managing interpersonal dynamics. Now, we're going to hop on to portfolio as communication medium. Portfolios are visual representations of what a youngster can do and how well he or she is succeeding academically. Why do we need to create portfolios when there are more straightforward assessment methods available? Well, students can direct their own learning by viewing and self-monitoring their academic achievement when they use portfolios. The activities included in the portfolio presentation not only assist the students in monitoring and enhancing their learning, but they also assist teachers in becoming better. Portfolios and authentic assessment also have its nature and characteristics, as well as how we analyze the key components of portfolios. There are different types of portfolios: the showcase, documentation, and evaluation portfolios with its different uses. And of course, e-portfolio is an electronic format for students to represent information in different formats depending on the software, and it takes the information with them between schools.
Hi, this is Liza and Fidelia for Unit 4 Part 2, which is about grading and report. So this contains the nature, purpose, and rationale of assigning grades, as well as the grading system used in different schools. So what is a grading system? A grading system is a system that a school has developed to guide how teachers assess and grade students' works. So an example of a grading system is first letter grades that uses letter scale instead of numbers, and percentage grade that uses percentage scale like averaging and cumulative percentage, the verbal descriptor, checklist that examines the presence and absence of and elements in performance, narrative reports are written reports that assess the student's achievements, report to parents, and report cards like what we see during elementary days that is given to us by our teachers by the end of the grading, and of course the parent-teacher conference or the face-to-face meeting they had to where they discuss the progress we had as their students in a specific field.
Assessment of Learning 2 Unit 5 talks about assessment of one's teaching practice. This unit focuses on assessing one's teaching practice through learners' attainment data and the performance evaluation from the students, peers, and supervisor. Reflective practice using learner attainment data. Reflective practice is done through analyzing the learner's test scores, non-test data, and other information. This means that if the learner's test scores, non-test data, and other information reflect an average to outstanding performance, the teaching practice of the teacher is effective and might be recycled and used for future students. If the result says otherwise, it means that a teacher needs to reassess his or her teaching practices. Next is reflective practice through performance evaluation from the students, peers, and supervisor. In this case, the students, peers, and supervisor will be the one to assess the teaching practice of the teacher. This is commonly done per semester or per quarter. The teacher gets grade and written feedback from these people. The written feedback contains the teacher's strengths and points to improve.
And that is all for Assessment for Learning 2. Credits to MJ Nina Starian Canyo, Arthur John Maricinco, Liza Ann Codilia, John Kenneth Combate, Jana Marie Contreras, Darlene Ketdakay, and Precious Daniel for making this video successful. We hope this summary is informative and you learned a lot for this content. That is all for this video. Take care, everyone.